Hi, this is Lucy and welcome to another Fallout 76 camp tour video. I'm just laughing at my protector on the skating backwards down the road. Yeah, so anyway, I haven't done a video for nearly 2 weeks because I've been a bit run down, but I have been working on builds, and this is my main character Emily, and I decided to try and have a go at building something in a shelter. It's been an interesting experience. I actually visited a player's shelter on a public server the other day, and all he'd done in it was put up lots of different letters saying I hate shelters, and yeah, they are a bit different from what we're used to. So I'll get on with the tour and I'll explain as I go, I think. I decided to build an apartment block, and this is sort of the entrance to the block. Not my most exciting build, I can see, but I felt that I needed something on the outside rather than just plonking down a shelter door. Oh dear, he is a bit annoying. It's a shame you can't silence him. This is my concierge front desk. He's offering you a welcome drink. I'd never used this vendor before, and I must admit these things are a bit difficult to power up. I actually use conduits. There's a conduit that goes through that wall and comes out here to light the upper lights, but he obviously needs a particular to actually be wired up, so I passed wires down through the inside of the building. There is a little coffee area. I have started a project on this vault, but I haven't finished it yet. I'm not sure about this one. This is, I don't know what they're called. This was the one that you got with Fallout First. This is the Atrium Vault, and this is the vault that I've spent the most time on, so I will show you. This is where you start in the build. I have made a sort of fake outside seating area. I have completely covered up the vault. I saw another YouTuber comment on this recently that a lot of people are doing this, but given all the clutter around the outside of the vault, I don't know if you'd actually want that. I don't know. So I wanted to build an apartment. The reason I've got this door on here, and the first problem I had, is floors. The floors do not snap in on the Atrium Vault, and this upper level is adjacent and snaps to an upper level in the vault. But then you have the problem of, once you put a wall down, it is the thickness of a floor lower. So everything's slightly out, and I could have put floors on the upper portion and carried them across, but then I really struggled to get the top pieces on. So I had tried, I built this, ripped it all down and tried that, and then couldn't get the upper pieces on. So it's all a bit wonky, really. There is a workshop downstairs. If you try to put the sliding doors on, because this door is slightly lower than it should be, because the walls are on the floor, not on the ground, not on the artificial floor, you can't actually get through it. So this is the workshop. There is a bit of pipe sticking through the ceiling. But that what that is will become apparent. You do get quite a big budget. I have pretty much maxed out my budget. I've put a guitar here and a little outside dining area. Well, faux outside. I decided to try to do a New York style loft apartment. I made good use of the glass. This is the new Vault fireplace, which you're supposed to light up the night with. But as you can see, and if you have it you probably already know, even though it's in lights in fireplaces, it does not light up. There is no way to connect anything to it. It does not require power, and there is you cannot interact with it. Because you can pretty much place things wherever you want them in a vault, I managed to get this staircase right next to the wall. I did try and put a bit of clutter in, but it didn't look right to me, so I have left it quite minimalist. There is a secret door here, but it doesn't actually go anywhere. I'm pretty much using this as a wardrobe or as a cupboard. Quite like the white ceilings or the light ceilings, but obviously with those pieces I couldn't replicate it on this floor, because to change the colour of this floor, to put a patterned piece on, it can only be done on the wood, or the underside is wood. You might notice there's some glitching here. This is because I've actually managed to glitch 2 floors in together because of this half offset. And although you can place things anywhere in the vault or in the shelter, the problem with that is sometimes you will come back into the vault and notice that certain items are floating when you didn't intend them to. These are the asylum lights, which I got from doing a daily op, and I've wanted them for a while, and I was so excited I immediately read the plan and then thought, maybe I should have saved it for Scarlett because she does more building, and they would have looked good in the build that I've done on her this week. This is the kitchen. I didn't know until I built this that you can't actually put refrigerators in shelters, and I don't know why. The other thing I noticed you couldn't put was the silver bowl. Pretty much things that people can interact with you can't place in shelters, and I don't know why. I've tried to simulate a cityscape here. It's not... I don't think it's as good as it could be, but I've spent far too much time on it. I did actually try and double wall the glass to see if I could make it a bit more blurry. But because this is the floor of the actual you need double floors to be able to double wall, and it doesn't count as a floor. I was aware that you couldn't place sinks in shelters. I've spent far too long trying to make this sink with a flamer trap. If you flamer trap something, I flamer trapped these boxes underneath, and then you can merge it. The item on top, which was this cabinet, disappears, and you can merge items with it. To do this, I tried various things. I think the way I did it in the end was to take this floor off, build a flamer trap up so that the flames were literally just skirting the floor here to destroy those boxes. I think it could be slightly straighter, but I've spent absolutely ridiculous amount of time on this just so that I could have a sink. I would have used the white display cabinet if I hadn't. Unfortunately my workshop is underneath here, so I have got the pipe here for my shower sticking through slightly. Obviously that's the toilet. Whoever lives in this apartment is obviously an exhibitionist because they like to shower. But I can assure you that security at Newgad Apartments is very good, so you shouldn't get any peeping toms. For a long time I did try and incorporate the window, but obviously there is no window. And I came to the conclusion in the end it just wasn't worth the effort. I think if you want to make good use of your shelter, think of it as a camp area. You do not have to use all of it. I think I've seen too many shelters that look like they've been decorated by 14-year-old boys, which is quite possible they have. Which is fine if you're a 14-year-old boy, I guess. But I must admit, I am not that keen. I have also found that this is what I mean about the floor. You have to step up. There are advantages. Being able to sort of build stuff where you want it is great. But I have this weird sensation sometimes where it kind of the display will sometimes like this one, you can see I find it the perspective where it's highlighting something under the floor. I find it quite disorientating, and quite migraine inducing in some instances. So you can have a completely kind of hidden camp. You can lock it, no one can see your camp, put everything in it. Obviously there are no crops or water. But it was an interesting experiment. The difficulty always is, though, that if you do want to use your shelter as a camp, is you have an additional load screen. And if you're in a hurry, if you need to repair your weapons or have a nap because someone's dropped a nuke and doing a queen, it's not locked. Oh, actually, no, it is locked. I have built this. This is my emergency camp. If I'm in a hurry. And I even have a bed and a guitar up here. So, yeah. So I kind of cheated a bit, I suppose, but when I'm actually playing, I need a camp that's quick and easy to use, and that got around that problem. I am hoping, if Bethesda are going to insist on giving us shelters, which I'm under the impression they are going to, that we have some variety. I think that there was talk at one point of caves, which could be interesting, possibly more interesting than a vault. And if you haven't seen it, down by the White Springs station there is this little thing, which some people have suggested is actually going to be, or is a prototype for a cave shelter. Well, probably because it says enter cave shelter. You can't unfortunately go in. I personally think this is a bit bizarre. But I would be interested to see what that would look like on the inside. So I think it's something that obviously is in development. So we shall see. I still have an idea for doing an underwater shelter using the small shelter. But I mean, you could obviously, and I think a lot of people have done it, you can put links to other shelters within that to make the space bigger. So I could have a whole sort of below water camp, which might be interesting. As long as you don't want to grow crops, you could just literally have a completely hidden camp. PvP isn't so much of a thing anymore, but if no one knows where your camp is, I mean obviously no vendor. So I hope you like my shelter. I have a few ideas for more, but I think after this build on my main character, I actually have an idea to do something up near the Palace of the Winding Path. Possibly floating. It depends whether I can get my camp widget high enough where I want it. I haven't been able to fully investigate the site yet because obviously I've been building the shelter for the video. So we'll see how that goes. And I have a build on Scarlet that next week or the week after I will be doing a building 101 on how to build that. And I have more plans for her as well. So I'm feeling a bit more regenerated now, and hopefully I'll be able to get that video out next week. So that's all from me today. Thank you for watching.